Hello and welcome to the Self-Study Show with myself, Jer Norris and Austen, the show where we discuss personal development ideas from the study that we're doing, and we share these ideas with you so you can go away with a different perspective on what we're discussing. So Ant has got the idea today and he is going to show it on his screen. Go ahead, mate.
Okay, so it should be up now.
Yeah, so most people think they want more money than they really do and settle for a lot less than they could earn. So at the moment, myself and Ant are studying a clip from Earl Nightingale, and it is around earning money. And the more and more we listen to it, because we listen to the same clip for about 90 days to really compress the ideas into our subconscious, because we learn by repetition. We learn by doing the same thing over and over and over again, compounding the same information until we emotionally understand it. And that means when you emotionally understand it, it's in your subconscious. So today we're going to speak about this line that Ant's picked out. Most people think they want more money than they really do and settle for a lot less than they could earn. So the way I look at this point is that most people think they want most people think they want more money than they really do. So how I read this is, you look at people that are financially better than you or financially better off at you. Well, you think they are, and you go, oh, I wish I had that more money. Or some people say, oh, if I could win the lotto, what would I do with £1 million? And what would you do with all that money if you were given that money now? People go, oh, I do this and I do that. You'd probably spend 75% of it because you wouldn't really know what to do with it. So most people settle for a lot less than they could earn. So in this, I think people don't really earn what they really should earn in a lifetime because they believe that they cannot earn more than what they're earning at the moment. And people don't really, raise their head up. They don't look up to try and get ahead. A lot of people are very content about where they are in life. This is where I am. My parents did this, my family does this, I work as this is who I am. I could never work at this higher profession or this higher up the ladder, because this is what Earl is getting at. People settle for a lot less. So a lot of people want more money. Oh, I wish I had that. I wish I had that £1 million. Or I wish I had that money so I could do X, Y, and Z. But they actually settle for a lot less, because inside us, we've got the potential to be that person that earns more money. We have everything in us that we can achieve more money. But most people think they want more than they really do. Is you've got to understand, how much money do you actually need to live? Let's just take a year as an example. How much money do you actually need to live in a year to live a wealthy, happy life? So think about how much you're earning right now as a monthly income, and then how much more monthly would you need to earn to live a happy, wealthy, healthy life? And probably 95% of people wouldn't really know how much they needed. They'd probably say, oh, I need an extra £5,000 a month. So you probably don't need that amount. You probably just need a certain amount to live the life you want to live. But where I'm going with this is, if you don't think about where you want, if you don't think about your life and how you want to live it, then you don't know how much money you need to earn to live that life. So it comes back to you and how you want to live your life, which means you need to think about how you want to live your life and what you want to achieve in your life, and what what things you class as like pleasure to you. What size home do you want? What things do you want in your life? What holidays do you want to go at? Like how do you want to live your life? And this really should be put into what I class a life plan, because we're starting from the end goal, like how much money you want saved, how much money you want in your bank account, how much money do you want to have in your later life. All this needs to be planned out in your kind of a life plan. And then you can go, okay, now I know how much money I need to earn. And then you know exactly what you need to earn. It's probably not a lot more than what you're actually on right now to live the life that you want to live. But most people think they want more than they really do. And they settle for a lot less than what they could earn. Because exactly what I've just said now, nobody plans their life. And that's why you're settling for a lot less than you could earn. Because if you did plan your life and you did have a target of amount of money you wanted to earn in a 12 months, and then you went off and you started to develop yourself, in your career, you got more qualified to earn that money, because there's no way on earth that you will get that money unless you qualify for it, unless you become the person who's able to earn that money. And that means you got to work on yourself to progress in the economic pyramid of the workplace. So that's my take on it, Ant. Let me know your take on it from your side, from your perspective.
Yeah, so I just see so much in this, like so much, because when we look at this, as most people think they want more money than they really do, we're using the term here, think, very loosely, because it's not much thinking involved. So basically, if you were asked the average person, how much money do you need, they will overestimate that. And I know I've done this as well when it comes to setting financial goals. You just sort of setting these massive goals because that's the way you've been taught to goal set and things like that. But actually, when you really do some deep, real thinking and analyzing your current situation based on what you actually want, see, how do you know what you want? That comes through a lot of thinking, in itself. And now we're not just talking about money here, we're talking about what do you actually want to do with that money to have the life that you want to live. And it's like just those two words there, there's just so much work that needs to be done. It might take you just 18 months just thinking that through, because it's very easy to say that we want like to earn £1 million a year or whatever, and we want to do this and we want to go on this holiday destination and we want this sort of, property or whatever it may be, whatever it is that you want. But then we do have to take our growth in sensible, logical steps, because otherwise it becomes too much for us. And this is where most people then resort to settling for a lot less than they could earn. It's almost like because they think they want more money than they really do, immediately they don't believe they can get there, or they run into lots of obstacles trying to get there, that eventually they lose all faith, and then they just settle for a lot less than they could earn based upon their sort of failed attempt, so to speak. They only failed because they stopped. But in actual fact, they were actually reaching for a goal, which is just like more money than they actually really wanted, you know? And this is where it comes down to like, what do you really want? Like, you like really want. like you said, Jer, it's like most of us probably don't need a lot more money than we actually have at the moment in order to live the way that we want to do. But because if it's not detailed in like fine description, then you don't really know. And I think this is just where people sort of overestimate the goal, and then they put themselves out of their depth. And I think it's just unnecessary to do so. And it's like if you're setting a massive financial goal, you've always got to ask yourself, well, like, why? Is that because I actually want that money? Or is it because it gets me away from, this, which is not having enough money? So if you're setting a goal that you want loads of money in order to get away from not having enough money, then that's the energy is never going to be right there because it's a get away from goal. It's like setting a goal like I don't want to be broke. That's a get away from goal. There's negative connotations in there. The trouble with that is that once you get out of debt or you're not broke anymore, you're no longer motivated and you probably slip back into it. Whereas you want to set a move toward to goal. And I think you can only do that by thinking for a long time about what you want, detailing that out, and then you can set some goals towards it, towards some purposeful, meaningful things. Because money is a tool. It is a tool. And in the clip that we're listening to, he actually says things like, you only need so much money to live healthy, happy, and well. You only need so much food to enjoy good health. These are the words he says. And it's so true. Like, it's so true. You only need so much food to enjoy good health. That's just one example. You only need a certain amount of clothes, let's say, to dress respectable or dress the way you want to dress. you know, but again, it all comes down to like what you really want. And if you can set that goal, then I don't think you will settle for a lot less than what you could earn because there's no real limit to what we could earn. But I think the message I'm trying to get to here is what is the energy behind the want of the money that you want for yourself? So that's where I am with this, Joe. You got anything else?
Yeah, let's share the screens back, I think. Yeah, I think that's a really good point, right? And I think, yeah, I think it's a really, really good point because I think if you're basically what you're saying is like if you're trying to get from A to B, earn more money, and you're setting your goals too high, but yeah, why are you setting them so high? And again, like you said, I've been a victim of this as well by setting the financial goals too high, and then it's a it has a negative effect on you. It's like it's yeah, it your energy is not, because you look at it, it's a massive, massive mammoth, task. But if you break it down into minute wins, the big goal doesn't look as big. But I think why the point you touched upon, which I think is fantastic, is why are you setting such a big goal? Why are you trying to, triple your income in a year? Why are you trying to do that so quickly? And that comes down to the fear. And that comes down to the fear of poverty. You're scared of, the life you have now, the amount of money that you're earning. You think you need to, triple that in a year, but you probably don't. A small amount extra would probably start to give you things in your life that you didn't have before, and you'd probably look at yourself and go, oh, okay, actually this is not too bad. Maybe I don't need that massive amount. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not here to say not earn more money. I'm here to say, you have to understand money and put money in its place. Money is a servant and you're the master. So you don't want to get it confused where money's the master and you're the servant. That means then you're always chasing money. You're obsessed by money. No, you need to understand money and become the master of money and put it in its place. So set your goals where you want to set them, and then think of ways and means to increase your service so you can earn that amount of money to live the life that you want. But it keeps coming back. It keeps coming back to you, because you have to know what you want in life. You have to know how much money you want to live that life. Now, I can't stress this enough, because it keeps coming back to us. We have all the answers within us. As Anne said, like that, how much do you want? Like, and that takes a lot of asking. How much do you want? How much do I want to live? And a good way to start learning, a good starting point for this, and we do this with people that we coach, is to write out everything that is your expense. Write everything that is your mortgage, food, everything, and you know how much you spend monthly, and you know that, okay, I spend X amount of money. And then if you start writing out a life plan, then you start writing out things that you would like to add to your life. Then you get an idea of what extra you need to live the life that you want to live, because you have to naturally grow into that person. You can't just turn around tomorrow and say, I want an extra £200,000, and then just click your finger and get it. You have to then become the person who's able to earn a little bit more money to live the life that you want to live. So it keeps coming back to what you want to live, what you want in life. And I think I've said this about 6 or 7 times, but it starts with you. You have all the answers within you. You just need to put it down in a plan and journal it out and ask yourself questions. Who am I? And who do I want to become? Because if you don't understand yourself, then you don't really understand what life you want to have. And touches a little bit more on decision making, and because you got to make decisions based on your own thinking and your own decision making, not based on decisions that other people are doing in your environment or in your social life. It's just because your friends have got a big house and they have this and they have that. That's not how you design your life. You design it on how you want your life to live, and you have to really think about what you want. And this is tough at the start. It takes a while to figure out what you want, but that is the starting point. And then you got to figure out, and then you can go to earn more money to fill the life that you want. But as I said, it starts with what you want. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I think you touched on some really important points there. The things that I just want to address is what you said. Before you can do something, you first must be something. So, as you said, you've got to become the person who can earn the amount of money that you set for yourself. And if that is a big goal, that's not going to happen overnight. It's just not. And what happens to those people who do get that money overnight, lottery winners and things like that? Because they haven't become millionaires in themselves, restructuring their belief system, their identity, and their vision, they've got no way of managing that money, because money has been the master of them for so long. And therefore, they get this fortune come in. And what happens? We've seen it time and time again. Within a couple of years, most of them are broke. And the reason why is because they didn't grow into that person who could manage and handle that amount of money. So therefore, like Jer's saying, it is a process of becoming the person that you sort of need to be in order to earn that money. Another thing that you touched on there was about the fear of poverty. Like, I think that is massive as well, because if you do have this get away from goal, get away from the fear of poverty, then even when you get loads of money, I think it's just going to even make you feel like even more uneasy, even though you might initially feel that won't happen because now I won't have the worry of money. I think you will, because in the back of your mind, you'll almost always be tripping yourself up saying, this is too good to be true. This is too good to be true. And I think you're just inviting sort of hardships into your life that way. So that fear there needs to be dealt with 100%, because again, that energy, money is energy. I've read that a lot and it does make sense, because if you ever see wealthy people, they're generally in a nice vibration, and not all of them work very hard to get a lot of money. When the other end of the scale, you've got really hard working people not earning very much money. So it doesn't all come down to hard work. Definitely not. But part of what you want is also working out how you want to earn money as well through the service that you render, because you get paid for providing service. So what service do you want to render? That's in the want there. Do you know what I mean? So there's so much within that want. When he says most people think they want more money than they really do. There's so much in that one line, even that one sentence alone. So yeah, that's how I'm seeing this. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, yeah. I just think that point you touched on is really important about your service. And when I'm speaking about service, he's not on about like your service to. Well, there's two ways you can look at it. It could be your ability to serve people in your business, but actually to financially earn more money, the service comes out of you. You are the servant. So how you deal with situations and how do you increase your service is because you increase your knowledge. You study personal development. You get a life coach. You get control of your life. You study. You read books. You get ideas. Then these small little gains or changes in your life, that is you changing your service, because the next time you go into a workplace or even into an interview or wherever, or into a sales deal, you're a different person. You've got different energy, and energy flows through us, in us, and out of us. So when you walk into a room and you can handle a room because you've done communication skills, you've done speech skills, you've researched, your posture's changed, you seal that deal. And that is your service then. So that is another way you could look at your service. So I think I'm going to wrap this up by saying, don't set your goals too high, as in for a short space of time, because your goals do need to be more than what you're earning now. You have to be growing. If you're not growing, then you're going the opposite way, really. So you need to break them down into smaller, more achievable goals. Because if you set them too big, as Anne said, you'll end up giving up and settling for a lot less because you go, it's too hard. So set your goals, break them down, make them achievable, and take small steps every day towards them. And that could be just minute steps every day. And then naturally you will turn into the person who's able to earn that money that you've set in that goal. That's it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for listening to the Self Study Show. Bye.
Bye.